Welcome to the Blue Falcon podcast. We're still a little old school here, playing the intro music on my phone. Got a lot of equipment here. It's late at night. It's 2021, or as I like to say, 2020 Part 2. I'm Bobby Stegall. Thank you guys very much for watching this, whether you're watching it on Facebook, YouTube. Well, actually, I need to go live on TikTok real fast. Go ahead and click on that button. I'm joined by a good friend of mine that, we haven't talked that much since we were trained in the art of, what would you call survival? Is that fair?
Pretty much. Homelessness.
Or homeless, yeah. We were in infantry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, we were in infantry together at
Perfect.
Fort Benning.
Yeah.
And we're having a little bit of a warning here on my audio peak. Anyway, my good friend, long time, haven't talked to you, Mr. soon-to-be Dr. David Cox. Thank you very much for joining in on the podcast. I sure appreciate it, man. I'll let you take the stage while I fix this audio peak warning.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for having me on. You know, I've been kind of lurking in the shadows on the social medias, looking at people and, you know, seeing how everybody's life going. Everybody seems to be doing good that I follow. And I happened to catch the Brownfield podcast with you, and I was like, oh shit, like this is awesome. He's doing something cool, you know. And then I think we were just sitting there, and I was drinking one night, and I was like, oh, dude, we should you know, sit back and talk one day. And then you invited me on, and I'm glad you had me. I had to wait a couple weeks. It's been pretty crazy here. I've been working, you know, 12, 24 hours, like 24 days in a row. Now I'm kind of have a little break for February. It's got a snowstorm outside, so I got the day off tomorrow. Thank God. So
okay. And you're down in the south, aren't you?
Yeah. The once in a million years that it snows here, I'm here. You know, so it's usually not like this, but Shreveport, Louisiana. So I've been enjoying the warm weather, and I came down from New York to get out of there. So now it's following me everywhere I go. It just keeps snowing.
So this is your fault. So you're part of this conspiracy of the weather. You're basically causing.
Well, see, I do communicate with the guys up in the North Pole to turn on the HAARP machine to get the electromagnetic waves, you know, cause the weather changes.
Santa Claus is actually real, but his job is not what you think it is.
No.
He's part of the 5G
I
system.
thought he was always. That's what it is. He's so fast. Makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. So we have a lot of different things we want to talk about tonight, and I'm going to try to get my Facebook up and going here. Looks like Hugo Teasley's in here already. Hey, Hugo.
Yeah. All right. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Hugo. How's the sound for you? Does it sound okay? Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad. My dog is passed out, snoring behind me. So that's not some random person laid out behind me. So everybody knows.
We all have our secrets, you know. We just.
Hey, quiet back there. No, he's 13 years old, and it's really for there to ever be a time where I'm stuck at home in isolation for me to be here with him in the later years. You know, pretty good timing. So I'm not
good.
too upset about it. You know, try to make the most of it.
That's good. Yeah, I just got a dog before the COVID hit, so I've been able to spend a lot of time training him and getting him, to be a good dog. I really enjoy being able to just see him more because I thought originally I was just going to kind of have him and my girlfriend would watch him and I get to just enjoy him, a couple hours a day. So
Yeah.
it's been nice.
Yeah. There's nothing, honestly, like, girlfriends are
Okay.
great, but dogs are awesome.
Right? If you don't have a dog yet, get you one, guys. Tell them it'll improve your life. So
You'll thank us later. Make sure you get a good dog though. Like don't try to be a
yeah,
hero and get the dog that's biting everyone's face off at the local pound. You're not gonna save that
no,
dog. Maybe.
no, yeah, that's sound advice. Definitely a well-behaved dog is what you want.
Yep. I'm thinking that this camera is really jittery, so I may actually have to just put you on the full screen here and change out my cameras. So,
Sure.
David, tell us what's been going on since
Yeah.
2012, since I saw you last.
Well, I think it was 2014, or did you leave in 2012 for EOD?
Oh, you don't even remember when I left. That's cool. I mean, obviously you didn't miss me. Cool.
I just don't remember when you ETS'd out of there, man.
Yeah, no, it's 2012. Yeah, got there and left.
Okay, so I stayed on at Fort Hood for a little bit longer than you. I think about 2 more years. It was wonderful. Um, and then I ended up getting out July 24th of 2014. I got out of the Great Place and
Where's that great place at?
packed
By the
all
way,
my
David?
stuff up in the middle of the night. The wonderful Fort Hood, Texas, where I'm sure you've read it in the news, or if you're from the military, it's a quality installation with quality leadership. So
All things that are great.
we wouldn't dare. Yes. I mean, for I mean, for what Fort Hood is, it does offer a lot of stuff to do and like places to go and like just stuff if you're willing to like get out there and go do it and have a car. But when you're 17 or 20 years old, whatever, and you're stuck in the barracks, and then you're beat, tired from 12 hours of picking weeds, it
Wait,
can,
no, we were infantry,
it could
David.
be not so great.
We didn't pick weeds.
Yeah, yeah.
We were hard chargers. We were high speed.
Well, we picked a lot of weeds.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
so.
Okay, we did.
We did shoot a lot, but I think they maximized all free time that we had to at least cleaning up. I don't know why, but
They were pretty. They
I
were
guess they
pretty
just.
big on that.
At this point, I think it's just like, was it a joke between like frat guys that were officers that they just
Yes.
thought it was like funny, and then it just kind of continued on forever? I don't actually know
Literally hundreds
why
of
we
years.
did half of the stuff we did. I think one time somebody counted man hours that we were out there like doing yard work, and it was like years worth of time between all of us. So I didn't like it, not that part, at least. So
Well, I know for a fact that I watched.
because I feel like
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, David. Go ahead.
no, you're good. You're good. Keep it.
Well, I remember
watched what?
people literally painting rocks, which was hilarious to me. I didn't have to partake in that experiment.
Yes, I
I did see it.
I did do that. We took all the rocks from the
Oh, that was
front
you?
of where the flagpole sits on the back of the building. Yeah, it was ours. At least one of us did it. I know I did it for sure. And we washed all the rocks in a bucket with a brush, one by one, to get them clean. And then we dried the rocks. And then we had to paint the rocks with a brush in white paint and red paint. And then we had to stack the rocks back in a specific way. And I always wondered why we didn't just take spray paint and just spray paint the pattern. Yeah.
That'd have been a little too easy, I think, but right.
It's just ridiculous. And then, of course, once the rocks are painted, nobody can walk on the rocks, which is a big section of everywhere you're at. So,
Yeah,
gotta keep
don't
the rocks
even look at
looking
them.
good.
I think I actually did step on the rocks though, like in the first. Like
I used to
right-
describe to my family like what Fort Hood was like, and I said it's a prison without walls. Like I can leave anytime I want, but if I'm gone for too long, then I'm AWOL, and they're just going to come find me. You know?
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm assuming you decided to go the doctor route.
Yeah, I mean, once you're up in that position, you're kind of your own man, your own boss. You make the decisions. You got a team that works with you, and hopefully, you can bring leadership to that team and not be fighting, with people. That's one of my goals is to make sure I have good teamwork with nurses and PAs and other physicians and stuff to get actual stuff done. Um, you'd be amazed at just some of the stuff I see in the healthcare right now that it's just like people letting their egos and whatever just hinder their work. You could get a lot more done if you just be willing to kind of stuff some of that away and drive on and get the job done of helping people instead of, trying to get some name on a plaque or whatever. So,
Well, can you expound on that a little bit?
interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, so in medicine, you have kind of your primary care sector, which is people like family practice, internal medicine, um, to a lesser, maybe an even extent, psychiatry, um, and then I don't want to put certain surgical specialties in there, but kind of the doc. Just imagine any doctor that you see like as a regular person. I think for women, OB would probably fit in there a little bit because you kind of go to your OB as a woman more.
Okay.
But then again, if you're not really like having kids and problems, you probably aren't seeing an OB. So they're still specialists in my mind. And then you have your specialties, which are like your surgical specialties, your neurology, certain breakdowns of internal medicine, like GI doctors, cardiology, all those things. And a lot of times, the way it works is as a doctor, you kind of start off as a medical student, and then you get into a field, and maybe you go right away into a specialty, and that happens for a lot of people. If you're going for some neurosurgery, you're just going to go do surgery and then neurosurgery. But if you want to be a cardiologist, you're going to do 4 years of primary care as an internal medicine doctor, but then you're going to go on to be a cardiologist if you get into a fellowship to be a cardiologist. And
What's
in
a
order to do
fellowship?
that, you have to have
I'm not familiar with the fellowship idea. I know I've heard of it.
so fellowship. Yeah, so fellowship is an extension of your residency. You are higher ranked than a resident, but you're lower ranked than an attending physician, even though your attending physician may have less training than you,
Hmm.
because you're doing a fellowship in something special. So your fellowships are like your chief warrant officers, kind of, right?
Okay,
They're a little
yeah.
higher than everybody else, but they're not like the guy. And the guy, the officer guy, would be like the attending physician, right? That's your commander, right? And then as a resident, you're basically like a high up NCO, and everybody was kind of like what we were, nurses and your med staff and your radiology techs and all the techs and everything like that, just trying to get stuff done. You're putting orders in, they're going and completing the orders, and then they're coming back to you. But ultimately, as a resident, you report to an attending physician, and that person, makes or breaks your entire experience. If you're not on the good page with them, it's not going to be very fun. Um,
So there's still the
yeah,
kind of
so
cool people you have to get along